Welcome to C++ video tutorials. In this lecture we are going to study about arrays. But before starting, I would like to tell you to turn on the full screen mode by clicking on full screen button situated at bottom right corner of this YouTube video. Now talking about array. What is an array? Array is a collection of variables of similar data type. Suppose in a program I need 10 integer variables, so instead of giving different variable names, I can declare an integer array of size 10, and the syntax for that is data type any variable name, and inside square brackets size of array, square bracket closed followed by semicolon. In this case our data type is int, and you can give any variable name. Say I am giving here a, and inside square bracket size, which is 10 in this case. So this means that I have declared an array of size 10 and the name of the array is a. So if I store 10 values in this array, the first value would be stored inside a0, second value would be stored inside a1, third value would be stored inside a2, and the last, that is the 10th value, would be stored inside a9. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Similarly, we can declare any integer, any float array or any character array, and the syntax for that is also same. Here the data type is character, and you can give any variable name. Say I'm giving a, b, and here you can specify the size. We know that array of characters is string, so this is also called string. And similarly we can also declare float array, say float b and 10. So I hope the syntax of array is clear to you. Now I'm going to make a small program on arrays in developer C++. So please turn on the full screen mode so that you can view it clearly. Include iostream, include conio.h using namespace std followed by a main function. Here I am declaring an array of size, say 5, and I am storing 5 values inside that. And for storing values you can put the equal to operator followed by curly braces, and you can enter values separated by comma. So suppose I am entering 5 values, 5, 6, 9, 8 and 10. So I have entered 5 values. Here 5 would be stored in a0, 6 would be stored in a1, 9 would be stored in a2, 8 would be stored in a3, and 10 would be stored in a4. So if I print a1, what should it print? We know that at a0 5 is stored, so it should print 6. Get ch so that output window does not close. Compile the program, Control F9. 0 errors. So a1 should print 6. So I am running the program. There you go. You can see on your output screen 6 is been printed. Similarly, if I print a3, we know that at a0 5 is stored, a1 6 is stored, a2 9 is stored, a3 8 is stored. So compile the program again, run the program. There you go, 8 is printed because at a3 8 is stored. So this was a very small program. Now I'm going to make a much more complex program in which the user is going to enter values. Here we have assigned values directly, but in the next program the user will enter values, and we are going to store those values inside an array, and we will print those values after retrieving it from an array. So let me erase this thing. First of all, include header files, iostream, and the second header file conio.h using namespace std main function. I am declaring one integer array of size 5, int a5. Now I am prompting, that is this will display on the output screen, enter any 5 numbers. This message would be displayed on the output screen, and the user will enter 5 numbers, and those 5 numbers we will store inside this array, and for that we will use for loop. So for loop int I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. We know that for input we use C in AI. Here I is 0, that is whatever we enter I is 0, that is A0, that value would be stored inside A0. And in the next case I is 1, it will check whether 1 is less than 5, which is true. So here I is 1, so the next value which we enter would be stored inside A1. Similarly, next value would be stored inside A2, A3 and A4. And after that I is 5, it will check whether 5 is less than 5, which is false, because we know that 5 is equal to 5, not less than 5. So this loop will terminate. So we will store 5 values, and those 5 values will be stored inside A0, A1, A2, A3, A4. Now this array A5 has the 5 values which the user has entered. Now we have to retrieve those values from array, and for that we will use same for loop for int I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. But in this case we have to print the value, so we will use cout AI. In first case I is equal to 0, so A0 would be printed. After that A1 would be printed, and A2 would be printed, A3 would be printed, A4 would be printed, and after that the value of I is 5. Again this loop will terminate, since this condition will become false. So all the values stored from A0 to A4, here we have stored all the values, all those 4 values would be printed on the output screen. So I can write over here cout you have entered, and after that for loop all the 5 values that the user has entered would be retrieved from the array and printed on the output screen. Get ch so that output window does not close. So compile the program, control F9. There you go, 0 errors. Run the program, control F10. Enter any 5 numbers. So I can enter any 5 numbers. Now as soon as I have entered 5 numbers. As soon as I hit enter, it would display you have entered and all these numbers. There you go, you have entered 10, 5, 6, 7 and 9. These are the numbers which you have entered, and if you want these numbers to be printed on separate line, we can use new line character. That is new line character. We can add one new line character. So compile it once again, run the program. 2, 5, 6, any 5 number you can enter. There you go, you have entered 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the numbers are printed on separate line. So I hope array is clear to you. In the next lecture we will study about structures in C++, and after that union and enumeration in C++ language. You can also download this video in high definition from my website sites.google.com/site/pl lectures. I'm repeating it once again, sites.google.com/site/pl lectures. So this is what we have got for today. Till next lecture, goodbye, take care.